Okay. Look at me with my hair all done up, all cool. I've turned my fans off because, well, we had something going on here. Like, I had a leak in my house. My brand new house, man, it had a leak. What's going on? Like, I do look all snazzy today. My grandfather came over. He's trying to look, like an adult. He's never seen my place, and he's an old man. Try to look nice for him. But yeah, no, the wall here, yeah, look, dude, we had a little leak, and the pipe, I actually found it. I found water on the floor down here, and you can see the path I made. I stayed between the little stud bays there, except for, well, where is it? I mean, that corner, this one too is gonna have to be replaced anyway because that drywall's got wet. But yeah, also too, thank God this isn't like fiberglass based, because like I was elbow deep in this stuff that's like paper based. Insulation's been blown in. You see, I fucked that all up. But yeah, brand new house with a leak. That's always fun. Is what it is, man. A lot of new shit stuff. That's why I think that's why you have a warranty, is because like they know. Install a bunch of new shit. Sometimes something's gonna be wrong. Luckily, it's between this wall and the garage wall. Which, I mean, it's like an insulated wall, but it's not even like a real outside wall. It's kind of like a weird mix there. And luckily, it's like this time of year, the weather's actually been really nice. So it's like, I have to have a few days without insulations, whatever. But I mean, yeah, they're gonna have to rip this all out, re-blow it in. I had these fans, like I said, blowing, so I was trying to make sure the wood wasn't damaged. I don't know, we'll have to look at that more when we get it all apart. Ooh. So, but anyway, it's kind of made the box over here, and this is an old dryer that I'm giving to somebody. It's got new ones. Grandfather bought this for me. He's a nice guy. Gave me some nice new ones there. I'll just give a quick update to things that are going on in the world. You guys always like when I do these XR updates too. So the XR, I've ridden it. I've done fucking wheelies on it, guys. Oh shit, dude. It's still got the old seat on it, but otherwise this is like, it's getting there. I cleaned up this tank a little bit. This is like some old tank that, well, one of y'all sent me this for a good price, so thank you. Oh yeah, look at the exhaust turning all kind of gold looking from running. Yeah, basically what I've done is I've gone and putted around on it in the neighborhood, trying to be quiet as I can with it. I've gone across the street to one of the developments, and Jesus, it's loud. Especially on D-cell. The D-cell pop is brutal. I don't know if that Electron, I don't think it has any kind of, well, I know it doesn't. The way they work is so different, but yeah, like in a flat slide carb, like I had on my old DRZ, I had the flat slide pumper from whatever it is, that one FCR or FRC, whatever it is, one everyone gets. But I had a version of it that had it's called air cut valve on it. When you would chop throttle super hard, it goes back to idle circuit, and it would slam this plunger shut under vacuum and cut all the air inside the fuel passage to the fuel circuit, like the pilot jet. Because you always on the front of the carb, you also have little holes for those. Those are like and you have little air jets in there that also pull air in and mix it with the fuel jet. So by doing that, it makes it run like way more fuel through it and actually kind of evens out. So the Electron though doesn't do anything like that. So when you're chopping throttle, it's just lean pop. You're getting boom, 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 boom. Dude, it sounds like fucking gunshot. Someone's gonna call the police on this thing. It's insane. I guarantee you, in my time of owning this bike, it'll get the police called. Not just what pretty much every bike I'm sure I've owned has gotten the police called for one reason or another. But I bet you this one, someone's gonna think there's gunfire going off somewhere, because it is a brutal sound it makes. Tuning initially it was the idle was too low. You'll see in the video it's gonna come out soon where I was just kicking the thing. And I was like, what's wrong with it? Then I messed with it, of course, like off camera, and I got to fire right up. It was just the idle was too low. Of course it did. It had like cameras in there, like recharging, doing whatever. And I was just like, I'll just mess with it real quick. And then I got it to fire up. There's a side little screw you can tune while it's running. I've done that. I still need to hit up the company, and I was just going to shoot them an email, ask them what they think I should do. Because what's doing right now is like, it feels like the idle is a little higher than it should be. But if I go any lower, it tries to die. Even tuning that little thing just doesn't, I don't know, I can't get it to idle quite right. It's a little high too, because it's like the throttle kind of hangs a little, and you pop the throttle, it doesn't just drop back down. It kind of, it does that whole thing. And And when you put it in gear and let the clutch out, it's probably going like 15 miles an hour. I may need to go smaller on the front tooth as well. When I was putting around, I mean, I don't have the speedo or anything on it yet, but I swear, like, I was in third gear, probably just cruising easily at like 40 miles an hour. And I was like, I might need to take a tooth out of the front. If I have to, I'll go bigger on the rear, but that's a pain since we've already cut the chain, done everything else. But we'll see. Hopefully I can just get away with like a cheap front sprocket if that's what I end up needing to do. I'm not going to do it for sure yet till I get it done. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, like, you know, it was good to see the tires held pressure. I rode it around for like about 15 minutes with the tires held pressure. The, what else did it do? Let me point to it. The tires held pressure. The suspension actually felt pretty good. I probably might play with it a little bit, but suspension, I mean, I can't do that much with the front, but I might add just a little preload to the rear. But it feels really good, honestly. It should. It's fully tuned. The brakes suck because they're all new. It just is what it is. The front actually was like pulsing at first, but I kept braking on it. That's going down, and they're starting to actually kind of bite now. It's just new brakes. Everything is new there. The rear, I was only getting wheelies up maybe like, you know, like this high, because I was like, I'm stabbing that thing. Nothing's happening. I need to bend the lever out just a pinch too. I'm gonna need to like just carefully like tweak it out a little, because it's probably bent in, to be honest. The spike was wrecked so much. I never really paid attention to that, but like, I mean, you can see it right there. It's just, it needs to be out further. Like, it's just too hard for my toe with my boot on. It needs to be just a little further out, then I could get my toe on it really good. The radiators, they're just, you know, we got the rotary thermostat, the radiators, the oversized radiators. We don't have the fan hooked up or anything yet, but I was putting around in the fan, though. It still works. It reads the temperature on the side, and I never saw it go over like it's a 180 something degree thermostat. And it seemed like it was always running around like 170, 180, kind of in that range. So that seems good. I did have it sitting here in the garage for a few minutes. It got up to like 210, just like idling, you know. The fan obviously is trying to kick on, but doesn't have power yet. The stator is stating, and it's got its second output, which I was testing. It's dumping a load of AC off on the other end, which the Baja Designs kit will hook up to. I think it's this little guy right here on the back. That's the regulator rectifier for the kit, which will convert all of its power it needs. And we'll, after I put this we've got the video coming up, and then the one I'm going to be filming after that's going to be the whole Baja Design kit. And then the following video after that, let's see, Baja, they hooked it up, and one of the things they asked is if they could just have their own video with their product. And I was like, honestly, that's fine, because it kind of needs, just to simplify things, I'll just make it its own video. It might be a little shorter one, but whatever. And then the final video, I think it'll be the final video, at least in the build part. I'll put the dash on, wire the fan up. What else? Just all the little small things too. Put the new seat on. What kind of seat did I get? I always forget. People ask me what seat I bought. An SDG seat. It's just more to like the, I think it's slightly tall. Like, it's a little bit taller than stock. There's a big skid plate in there too. But it's just more grippy. But the bike feels real responsive, real easy to ride. It's definitely old school. It's kind of fun. Like, it's a raw ass machine, dude. Its power felt really, really good. Like I said, outside of that small idling stuff, squaring away the idle, it actually felt pretty damn good hitting the throttle, pinning it, running around. Like, it felt strong. So I think that's going to be really, really good for us. I don't think there'll be anything too big with that. And then, yeah, I don't know. This project was done. I got some ideas for filming like a reveal video thing. Might take me a week or two to get that kind of filmed, but I'll be putting around on it anyway and trying to think of what I need to do next. I know I've talked about that crazy scooter idea. I've got some other silly ones. I don't know exactly what video project we'll tackle next, but we got to do something fun. I have a lot of ideas. That's the good thing. There's ideas for days. Got to look at what practically could happen. I mean, a lot of times it depends on, like, you know, if we can get someone to sponsor something that makes sense, or if we think, you know, the videos are just going to do that well, or I don't know. There's, you know, there's a lot of stuff you have to figure out with these things. You know, I can't just decide I want to do this. If it makes no financial sense, then I have to stop and kind of go, well, should I do that? But I think there's some pretty solid solid ideas there. We'll just have to make some phone calls, and for sure there's gonna be videos just supermotoing around on the Supermoto, because that's gonna be fun. That's what I want to do. But yeah, definitely gotta get some more build stuff going on. It's fun. It gets a lot more views than normal videos. It attracts better kind of sponsors and stuff when you do those things. And I really like doing it. I miss kind of wrenching on stuff. This was a big project to kind of take on like this. There's a lot of expectations that I thought, you know, like, oh, it's only going to take this long, this and that. I mean, I had a ton of goofy stuff go on, and I think maybe I'll do like a behind the scenes about that when it's all done, kind of talk about why it took as long as it took, you know, how much it cost. I think we took the Electron, not the Electron, the Lunatic steering stabilizer off. We're not going to be able to run that, guys. I have to send that back. It actually started leaking oil. They sent me a third clamp, and while that third clamp was on the way, I saw it was leaking oil, and I just had to pull the plug on it. I was like, I'm gonna send it back. We might get that back on there, but even without that clamp on there, I mean, it's easily a $10,000 XR right now. That's stupid. It's a silly amount of money. So, you know, we'll figure something out there with that. But shit, what was the point I was gonna make? I'm just thinking about the XR and the money it's into it. Oh yeah, why it took so long. I mean, you know, I think I'm trying to keep you all in the loop, but the short of that is there was just so many weird things. Like when we first got it, it was like some people I worked with, we were supposed to do some marketing stuff and get some sponsors figured out, and it just never happened. I don't know. And I eventually had to pull the plug. It had been like a month and a half since I owned the bike, and you know, people are like, when's the next video coming out? When are you gonna start the build? And I was finally like, this thing's like a part in my garage. Like I finally decided to take the initiative and just started doing my own thing. And then, which seems to have screwed that relationship up now with those marketing people. But hey, you know, nothing was going to happen anyway. That dried up for whatever reason. That's a whole other thing. Yeah, beyond that, there was a move that I had, and that was really the biggest probably hold up on all this, was the moving stuff, because there were so many times I couldn't film where I was busy working on that, or it was actually then working on getting the house ready, and oh man, that was a big fucking hold up. I mean, realistically, yeah, this bike has had more time just sitting around not being worked on than being worked on. And then once I got all the sponsors on board, there was just waiting for parts to get out. And when you're asking people for freebies, you know, you can't demand your shit right away. Kind of shows up when it shows up, and you don't complain. You go, yes, thank you. May I have another, right? You know. So yeah, I don't know. I remember talking to Mo Nasi about this once, and he was saying that he was considering doing builds where he completely did the entire build and then started putting the videos on YouTube afterwards. And I was like, damn, that would be fucking crazy. But it's not the worst idea. I can see why he would do that. But anyways, yeah, should be putting around on that thing soon. Thanks for being Patreons. What else can I tell you all about? What else has been going on? I don't know, man. That's pretty much it. Wife's like 8 months pregnant, so that's gonna be interesting. And this haircut's weird looking to me. I'm like going bald up here though, you know. I mean, like it is happening. It's probably a real reason I wear a hat a lot. I mean, I've always had a really long widow's peak, but it's getting fucking gnarly now. And I don't know. It's gonna be hat life for me, man. But anyway, guys, so thanks for being Patreons. I'll try to be more active on the Discord thing. I always say I'm gonna jump on it, and then I forget how it works because I'm dumb. I'll go in there. I just don't. I'm gonna have to have one of y'all hold my hand with that. All right, y'all take it easy.